Yeah, some people like me are just destined to fuck up everything that we mess with. If I was made as a joke, I don't get it. Missed the call, but I guess I got the message. Usually I fall too hard, I'm addicted to pain. And if the world's on fire, I'll be swimming in flames, yeah. Cause I'm too impatient to wait for change. I know I'm far from perfect, oh yeah. But I know I can make it work, I know I can make it work. I'm crazy, everybody knows my name, but I don't even know my name. Going insane, putting heavy on my brain, and I don't even know my name. It's a story about a ID crisis. Used to think my only future was the night shift. Brain on ADHD, autopilot. And through it all somehow I kept smiling. I can never find the right words to say. Only a handful of family ever sees my face. But I'm only human, don't we all make mistakes? I'm drowning in my head again, and my thoughts don't want me to win. They show compassion made of plastic, and I don't wanna be another tragedy, but I'd rather be dead than a skeleton dreaming about the things that he couldn't be. Cause I'm too impatient to wait for dreams.
Good evening and welcome to the Boise State Esports Arena. Tonight, you are joining us for a thrilling, non-stop peak esports action in Neo Bomberman, released by Hudson Soft in 1997 and played on the Boise State arcade machine. We are going to have 4 fierce players going up against each other to see who can get the best score in this Spanish language translated Bomberman ROM that we have ready for them to play. Truly, the best title that you can earn here at the Esports Arena. I'm your host, Jacob Jem Palmer, joined by Kobe D'Angelo Alloway. So you've had some time, despite kind of the language mishaps, to kind of get the gist of what we have here tonight before us.
So, Neo Bomberman, for those uninitiated, is an arcade game, just like you were talking about, where the biggest thing that you need to manage is the timer of the bombs. Because not only do those bombs blow up and get you score, they also can take you out of the game. You need to make sure you are out of that blast radius, but you also need to make sure you're setting up to get as many enemies as possible, because those bombs are on a reasonably long timer. Yeah,
it kind of takes a little bit of time to get used to them. We'll see what can happen here as 4 players are going to be playing elimination style. In each single round, the lowest score player is going to be eliminated. All players start at 0 at the beginning of each round, and casters can save only 1 player. So that means is if we get to the end of the round and there's a player we don't quite want to see go, we'll put them in for the next round. However, they have to finish first in that next round to stay in, to still stay in. So it'll be interesting to see. We can give players a second chance, but a second chance by a thread, it only is. So, as we're ready to head into Bomberman, we're actually going to take a look at Doc's keys to the game before. In a Bomberman, Doc played this for about 20 minutes, so no doubt he is an expert in this game. And in Neo Bomberman, that's to stay out of the blast zone, prioritize your pickups, manage your rotations, and it's all brought to you by Drop-In Gaming, the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Whether you're new to the scene or seek competition, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. Ask them about Neo Bomberman, though. I don't know if they support that. It's all brought to you by Drop-In Gaming. Go to dropingaming.com to find out more information. So we can also take a look at the 4 players that are playing here. The prizing is honors, glory, and avoid the loser's couch. We have the loser's couch set up here in the loser's lounge, I like to call it, where all the losers are going to be joining us as the competition goes on and so forth. So who is going to, that is not the loser's lounge here. The loser's lounge is actually to the right of us here. So they're going to be able to sit. We originally had microphones gonna be in the loser's lounge, but then we realized, just the shame, you need to bask in it in order to fully have the effect of the loser's lounge be brought through.
And it almost feels like the more comfortable the loser's lounge is, because of course it is comfortable, right? It's a couch. The worse it gets, because you're only there because you're not still out there fighting for honor and glory.
Yep. Well, we'll see if these players can handle this game better than Dallin is handling his hat right now in the background. As we can see, the players who are going to be playing, we have got Dallin Dallamino Starnes, reigning Boise State golf champion, by the way, too. So he has quite a title to defend. We also have Tomio Togafu, which you were saying you really like that gamer tag.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's like Togepi, but not. But it's also like Kung Fu, but not, which is really, really amazing that there's just like puns stacked upon puns. It's like there are layers to the joke, and I appreciate it because it's only done in 6 letters.
And then we have our own Coach Moore, head coach of the Boise State Valorant and Halo team right now, who is going to be regaining his gamer tag of Not Koba to try to defend his honor here. And then we also have Asu, you're familiar with, being a former Overwatch player too.
So, Asu brought great glory and honor to our Overwatch team, and he's fighting hard for that today in Neo Bomberman. Definitely stepping outside of his comfort zone today, though, so we'll see how he's able to adapt to a completely different game.
Well, it looks like we've got our first competitor, Asu, starting out here, ready to start off this competition. So I guess we can get him to start, get ready to jump into the game. Now, interesting thing about the scoring in this game that you're kind of going to have to keep in mind is that you only get like a few hundred points for each enemy you eliminate. The real scoring is going to be brought in as how much time you have at the end of each round. It'll give you a score bonus depending on how fast you finish the round. So Asu already starting off pretty well to pick up his first 200.
We see right now he's just kind of clearing some space. He's not able to get out of that blast radius and is going to go down to that mushroom. These corners are really, really important in Neo Bomberman. It's in Doc's keys to the game. You got to manage your rotations. You can't leave yourself with no way out, even if there is an enemy for you to take.
If Aceu loses all his lives here, then we just stop, and whatever score he gets is the one we settle for the entire round. So settling with a score of only 300 is not going to be conducive to surviving. Looks like he set up the timing here perfectly, though.
Oh, no, not quite.
Oh.
Just barely going to miss it. And like you're seeing, those bombs are on a relatively long cooldown, and getting the timing for that definitely takes some kind of feeling and playing the game and just some things that can only come from experience. And there, that enemy is finally going to go down. Aceu almost done with this level with 1 minute and 18 seconds left.
The problem is like he's kind of messing up the timing on these bombs, and each second that ticks away is going to be less that he gets credited to him at the very end in bonus time.
I think the biggest thing that Aceu's missing right here is exactly that, cornering the enemy. You can't just make them walk on the straightaway and hope that they don't walk away from the bomb, because immediately as they bump in, they go back. We saw that several times.
So now Aceu's up to 3,800. You just see how important that end-of-time bonus is. He only got 600 for clearing out the enemies, but got 3,200 just by the time left. But he only has 1 life left, so any mistake he makes now is going to end his journey.
So this is actually not a game about the enemy elimination. It's about doing so with enough time to get you out of there. And as you can see, Aceu's getting hunted down low-key in that corner. It seems like the rotations and the pathing are taking some adjustments for Aceu here. He's running around the map, becoming familiar with the way the AI works, and he's not. That is his final life. Aceu now has no more safety blanket.
That counter counts extra lives, so like he's at 0 now. He's using his last life.
So this is his last chance. We're going in here. This is the most important time for Aceu, right? Because a life can take you pretty far in Neo Bomberman, but only if you're willing to adapt and make the changes necessary to continue going in this game.
Those mushrooms can sometimes go the wrong way too, but that one stays in place. Thankfully for Aceu. Just out of the reach of that bomb too. Problem is with this gingerbread cookie here, and I can't believe I'm saying that, but the problem with this is like they survive for more than 1 hit. So Aceu, yeah, you see he just assumes that, hey, the portal's going to open, but you got to hit him with more than 1 to knock him down. That's going to be him advancing even further.
And Aceu actually did a lot of cleaning up on this next level here. I expect the 3rd level to be even better than the 2nd level. Aceu has finally got a bomb radius figured out, right? I expect we won't see too much of Aceu taking himself out with the bombs. And right now, just getting some beginning of the game clear. This is an inevitable thing that players must do to, like, even get to the rest of the map. And as you can see here, all of these enemies are gingerbread men. More than 1 hit.
More than 1. He's still...
Ooh, not
he
quite.
has to be careful, and if I'm not mistaken, that's a pretty large radius there for that bomb, too, so...
Aceu's always just outside of it. However, you can see only 1 square away there. Aceu has got this down pat in terms of bomb radius. He's definitely not making any mistakes when it comes to spacing.
Move farther along here. Aceu's going to clear out some more space, try to block off the Ginger Man. The question is, does it... Yeah, it stays for 1, so now it's going to continue. He just gets out of the way, and that's what I was thinking of. Like, this is a safe play, but he's also depending on the AI pathing to work out in his favor.
And those circular movements that the enemies are doing, very, very difficult to get a bomb around that, because the bomb only goes 2 directions, and when they just kind of turn the corner, there's nothing you can do.
Oh, Aceu's going to put a bomb.
Ooh, I thought he wouldn't be able to get out of the range of that.
Problem is he needs to actually find the exit.
So right now, this is all clearing that we came back to in the beginning, but now all the enemies are down. Aceu's bombs were great for defeating enemies, but there weren't a lot of them that were multi-purposeful, as it were, there. And so now Aceu needs to spend these extra 27 seconds really lowering his score, just trying to clear and find the portal.
There's only so many options left where it could be. He's going to place it there so he can get a double. Try to clear it out. It's now just down to 1.
Imagine that being the very last one that you have to go through there.
There it is. All right, he's going to clear that, but gets a very short time bonus due to that, so that's going to hurt his overall score.
story is still just kind of going up, right? I mean, he's got the spacing figured out. Now his biggest problem that he's going to have to manage is clearing these structures in time, right? You can get the enemies. He's not getting hit by them so far. That'll be his biggest challenge to see if he can move to the next phase, as it were, in his story.
Oh, but he missed.
No!
He makes the one crucial mistake that ends his run at 11,850.
So, not too shabby there for our
No,
first
he
starting score.
He gained to level 1-4 isn't bad at all.
And I will say there, I do think that performance might have swayed either you or I, because we do still have the opportunity to save someone in here, and there was a little bit of a redemption arc for Asu there as the levels were continuing. That bomb spacing was fantastic.
But he still kind of loses a little in my mind, just based on the fact that the times that he was taken out were like of his own accord. They weren't like because the enemies, it's like, no, he just walked right back into the bomb. So that might affect our swaying just a little bit, if you will. Now we can see as the scores are entered in, Asu is going to be going away with 11,850. So next we're going to see Dallin, Tomio, and Coach Moore, how they do to close out this first round.
So Asu's functioning as the base marker there, right? Everybody else will be ranked in relation to Asu. They either did better or they did worse. And that is the benefit of being in the first spot.
Yeah, they have a score to beat is the thing.
Definitely.
Okay, so now Togafu is going to be stepping up to the plate. We'll see how he does. Is he ready to jump into competition? And we're off to the races as Togafu has started out. He's back in the first level. Let's see how he does now. Ready to place the first bombs, get everything cleared out. Still has to... The thing that can really trip him or any other new player up is going to be getting used to that bomb radius. And the timing, the enemy almost corners him.
That actually was a mistake that Asu did make. So far, Dalamino is doing better in terms of avoiding, or Togafu is doing better in terms of dodging enemies. It definitely pays to go second. You've kind of gotten to see a little bit more of the game, and kind of you've gotten to make your own thoughts about it.
He gets his second enemy taken care of, but he's almost used up half his time. So he's going to get a hurry-up notice in just 10 seconds, and Asu didn't get that. Asu was able to clear this level out a little faster.
I will say the big thing that Togafu is focusing on right now is clearing the structures. He's less concerned about the enemies and more concerned about all of those structures that were such a pain to Asu before. However, it does look like that is costing him in this first round as he comes out with a worse time.
Yeah, now he places it finally where there's no chance that it's going to miss. You know, I don't think he can get the timing here, man. Yeah, it's just going to have to settle for one. The question is, does it turn? It just gets out of the blast radius in time. Now he's got the opportunity to trap it, but I would have probably gone more for the corner there, is the problem.
The corners are very difficult.
Oh,
if you're...
oh, no! Oh, man.
First life down. This first level started out great. Togafu's definitely an early game player, as it were.
Problem is that means that there's one less life that he's going to be able to use later on. The timer does get reset for him. So actually, you can kind of maybe use that a little to your benefit, maybe. Spend a life to get some points.
Togafu's out here 5-head. That was calculated, and you cannot convince me otherwise. Because Togafu took that life from himself, recognized, hey, I'm having a bad time. And it's definitely worth that first life, because the score on the first level is what sets you up for the rest of them. So spending a single life to get a score much, much better, I think definitely helped him out.
It's a well-placed bomb there. Clears the way out for the mushroom in the lower left. Picks up 200 from his first enemy. Oh, but he gets caught! And now he's down to his last life.
Not quite as masterful execution of the blast radius as we saw on Asu there. Calculating other things relating to the game, it looks like a second player is coming in too.
That's a computer player that's now like fighting along against him because he freed him from the crate. The problem is, it says this computer player is also placing their own bombs down, which you're vulnerable to as well.
It does look like the assist is coming in handy in terms of clearing things, and so far there hasn't been a whole lot of threatening Togafu that his friendly ally is doing.
Manages to get one hit on the cookie.
Looking for that second hit, waiting for it to come back in the straightaway. Calculated, barely gonna hit it right before it goes around that corner.
Problem is that he's gonna have to accept whatever time he has left here. He doesn't have a life to spend to reset the timer. He's gonna have to be here, unfortunately, hoping he just walks in.
Ooh,
And he
there it
saw
is.
farther than I did. He's gonna be ready to head for the exit.
I will also say that I think there are lots of things to be learned from Togefu here. That strategy of tanking the loss to get a better time and therefore a better score first level where it's relatively low risk, I think that is a strategy that will be adopted by some of our other players because I think it's a winning strategy.
And look at where his score is. He's already surpassed Asu, mainly because I think it gave him a huge bonus for freeing the other player, the computer player. So you kind of get a thing of, yes, you're at a little bit more risk of getting hit, but if you manage to survive and complete the level, you'll get a ton of points.
No!
But he doesn't
Cornered
read the
himself.
geometry right, and that's going to be the end for Togefu. Despite him only finishing, he's finished a level sooner, but he has the higher score at 15,300.
Fantastic job. So he would be ranked above our baseline, right?
Yes,
our bar
yes.
of
Asu
comparison is
yeah.
here, and Togefu actually just like stepped above that. I expect, like I said, that strategy to be kind of adopted, though I hope with the improvement of something Asu is really good at, which is managing bomb spacing.
Well, we're just going to have to see how everything turns out. The Arcade Challenge in Bomberman is going to be going on to Coach Moore next, who's ready. I can see kind of what Dallin is trying to do. He's just going to try to maybe sit in the wings and just watch everyone and strategize, which is a strategy in and of itself. Maybe he's using the champion's privilege that he got from the golf game just to say, hey, I've earned the right to go last.
And it definitely, it takes him away from being in the first position that has to set that benchmarker. That's a lot of pressure. It enables him to take what he likes from the other people's strategies and adapt them to his own before it's even his first time to try to get a score in.
All right, Coach Moore is stepping up to the plate, ready to head back into the game. He's just going to skip the instructions there on how to play. Go past, I again did say this was a Spanish translation, but we know the general rules of how to play the game here. He should have learned just by watching. We'll see how good Coach Moore can do at his Bomberman run.
Coach Moore is goated, so I expect things to have been learned from the previous two players. I think these players will just continue to build off of each other.
Coach Moore.
He got trapped, so he's erring more along the Asu lines in terms of this first map completion. It looks like he's going to get trapped again, actually. No, that mushroom is just barely going to go down in time. Coach Moore is really struggling with that final enemy up top.
Hey, he isn't spending a whole bunch of time. He manages to just barely get the hit on it. Just one pixel working out in his favor. So now maybe he has some new life despite that early hang-up. If he can just sweep this and clear things out toward the next round where he can get the bonus for freeing the guy, I think he can recover.
And like we've already established, the first time is definitely the lowest risk, right? This first map is where you're kind of allowed to make mistakes more like that. Or if you're not going to make those mistakes, exchange your life for a better score.
Coach Moore now going after the final enemy, placing his final bomb down to get rid. And oh, I thought he had plenty of time to use the corner there. He gets lucky on the enemy walking back, but he still gets it.
I heard that shout of skilled in the background. Coach Moore is sitting there insisting that that was calculated, and I for one, believe him.
I don't know. I might just be able to, I don't know. I think he got lucky.
We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. We'll assume he's got these AI handles, which gives us a new thing to grapple with in terms of player strengths. And like you see here, he just kind of has that AI in that corner there. I think Coach Moore is bringing a new skill that is just unique to him to this tournament.
He's doubling down, trying to go for the extra points for freeing, and places it beautifully there. The computer almost corners him in, though. And he walks into the computer's bomb. That's the risk you run.
However, you do get a massive score advantage, and your level time is going to be overall quicker. So, and we've already established that trading lives for score, while risky, could be valuable here. However, these last several hits, he's just bombing a wall right now.
He plays it well. That's a guaranteed hit. Yeah, he just needs to
Fantastic.
time these out. He's got this.
Gonna get that final item before heading on to the next level.
That's going to really give him a huge score boost. 4550 plus the bonus of 5,000
Wow.
for freeing. So now he's just 800 off from Togefu and taking the top. The problem is like that 800 means every enemy here has to be cleared. But the good news for him is he's cleared Asu's mark. He's cleared the water mark of 11,850.
And he's on track to continue the trend of this tournament, which is everyone scores higher than the last one. So theoretically, Dalamino should be the one walking away with honor and glory in this first round. Oh, gets that. Look at that AI spacing. That was fantastic. Knew he was going to walk right into that blast zone.
Problem is with this enemy that's just been freed is that it can place down barriers, which it uses to corner. But play for Coach Moore. He has the highest score so far, 16,100.
And now it'll be up to Dalamino to best that score. And Dalamino, if they've been paying attention, they have a new strategy to adopt to their belt. So Asu brought bomb spacing. Togefu brought in the ally. That was very important. And then Coach Moore is now coming in, adding to what we've seen in this tournament by perfectly calculating, except for that last bit.
It's
that
down
was a new
now. He's ready. He's ready to throw down.
Are you going to throw the hat too? That would be lovely. No. Fantastic job.
He's looking for the back-to-back championship wins in the Arcade Challenge. He's the reigning champion from last time's Arcade Challenge. And he likes to refer to this, well, he calls it his craft, really. We'll see how well he can do in it. But if he drops here, maybe that's a bad omen. I'm not quite sure, but I don't know. Sometimes these players can get superstitious, and remember, if the player who does lose, they have to rely on our mercy if we decide to give them the second chance.
Are you feeling merciful, Jem?
I don't know. I'm going to have to let the performance here be the judge for that. Dennis looking for his first place here. Nice planning and timing there. That's going to get out of the way, though, so he's going to have to try again on that. Place that in a more central location, but still trying to get the timing down.
That bomb is just going to miss entirely. Dalamino is really struggling with this first. Almost corners himself there. Gets stuck in the bomb, but is still not down a life. Because of how long it's taking to clear these enemies, Dalamino might want to consider the strategy of taking himself out within the final couple of seconds. Because I'm not going to lie to you, if every enemy takes 20 seconds for him to take out, that does not bode well for round one.
Well, but if he can finish with over a minute left, I would say that's still a pretty good time bonus.
Definitely.
Oh, and it's going to walk in. Lucky break for him. He's going to be able to move on almost basically scot-free into the next stage.
Yes, Dalamino. So we already kind of knew that Dalamino was going in with the most advantage because he got to watch all of the other people go in, and so we expect him to go for the ally here that has been a huge benefit and hopefully not walk into any of the bombs like Coach Moore did.
Now this next round, basically Dalamino, we can cut things off here if he passes 11,850. That's the only number that really matters right now.
We could, or we could let him keep going for additional score bonuses, because this is a competition for honor and glory, and there is nothing more glorious than smashing your enemy by several thousand.
I suppose we could see if he gets the top score. He hasn't made any mistakes thus far, and I like this strategy here. He's waiting to free the character at the very end here, where he can just free them and then move to the exit.
Yes, that is a sound strategy. Eliminates any of the potential of walking into their own bombs, or most of the potential. I guess you could still walk in right into them in the middle of the map. And since what the character mostly does is clear structures, it's at a place where it's most advantageous to you, because the only thing he had to do at that point was clear the structures.
He's already done it. He's past 11,850, so Dallin's going to be moving on to the next stage. But I suppose we can see here how well he's going to do if he's going to pass the high score that Coach Moore set at 16,100. Oh, he just walks right into that. But he doesn't have to worry. I mean, he's already made it, so.
I think he has to worry a little bit. There were a couple of concerning plays, but he's going to come in with that double hit and reinstate the faith in him. That was flawlessly executed. Didn't even let them out of the animation. And so as a result, I do believe gets a score bonus for eliminating both of them at the same time.
Now going to be ready to place the next bomb. Just one more. He's going to get the first hit on the... And yeah, he's going to do what he did the same time. That animation gives him enough time where he can just kind of do a 1-2 combo and end it. And saving kind of the most problematic enemy for the last. In fact, this enemy is just completely boxed in.
It does seem like Dalamino's unique strategy that he has brought to this tournament is the animation canceling, which I do have to say, I think is the most useful strategy that we've seen so far. That enemy is just going to go ahead and reblock themselves in. I think this is going to be a problem for Dalamino. There's nothing saying it won't do that again. No, it's not going to do that again. Not going to be able to save itself in that AI, and at this point, Dalamino just has to clear.
Yeah, he just has to clear and try to find where the exit is. Thanks to
Multiple
picking up
bombs.
that, yeah, he picks up the power-up. Allows him to place 2 bombs at once, so he should have plenty of time to find out, and there it is. Now he clears, and he's the one who's gotten the farthest and has the highest score now. He was not fooling around when he threw his sweater at the couch. He was ready.
He was ready. And we've seen this level before. It'll be up to Dalamino to be the one that ends up beating it. We see now the bombs are red, so they do go faster, posing more of a risk to the player placing them, but also the added benefit is it lets you get a better time.
Just going to miss the placement on that enemy in the center. He's going to walk out of the way, gets a hit, and that bird leaves behind an egg, which I do not trust one bit.
Absolutely not. Why would you? And now there's little whooper-looking guy in the middle.
Oh my!
Is gonna bar fire. Well, that was certainly unexpected. Though
But
that
look! Did you? That had such a huge delay there on the animation afterwards. So that's going to be the opening in the future.
And that delay in the animation. Ooh, he's trapped.
No! Oh, no! He works himself in by his own hubris. But still, the top score for this round, 18,850. It looks...
The sassy sweater drape over the shoulder there. Fantastic job.
He knows he's champion. He knows.
So, who are you looking to have mercy on in this tournament?
Well, the question is it going to be given to Asu or not? Because now he's on the chopping block. I think now would be a good time, since we're in between rounds, to kind of ponder that decision. And we'll be back and decide if one of us decides to use our challenge to keep Asu in the running. But we're going to take a short break and be back after these messages, so you're not going to want to miss the rest of this Bomberman tournament.
Protecting your customer journey from fraud is critical. According to industry analysts, Count's AI-driven platform is the leading solution. From account login to digital payments, Count is recognized for both its customer impact and technology excellence. Learn more at count.com.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena. You're watching our current coverage of our Neo Bomberman arcade tournament here in the arena, where 4 of our best and brightest go against each other. And right now, the main question on everyone's mind is, Asu was the one who got the lowest score in the round, last round, so he's going to be the one on the chopping block unless one of us, one of the casters, your host Jacob Jem Palmer and Colby D'Angelo Alloway, decide to use our mercy card, if you will, and bring Asu back into the next round. And the verdict is...
So, I'm a fan of Chaos, and I'm a fan of Asu, so here's what's going to happen. I am going to use my Mercy card to keep Asu in this fight. What this means for the rest of the tournament is that the first round was essentially kind of a warm-up for everybody,
Sure.
right? Now is where the story really begins, because Asu is now put in the position of having to win first place or they're just out again, which, I mean, is a very similar position to the one he was in before.
Mm-hmm.
Except now he has to be the best instead of just not being the worst. However, more than just Asu gets punished if he comes in last place. Should Asu come in last place, the person in second to last, so that would be third, will also be eliminated. So this could potentially be a double elimination round. So even though I used my Mercy card to keep Asu in this tournament, I do think it would be very interesting if he got last place and took somebody else down with him.
Yeah, that is something that we do not want to see. That is just a huge bomb that goes off in this case. And now we get to see who's going to be the first to be brought into the arena. Now, Asu is the one choosing the order. Dallin looks like he's going to be the first one out. Not only ready to throw down again, but has brought the glasses as well as the hat. And remember what we said, and we get an update. Oh, he's turning the hat backwards.
Gamer mode! Can't have the bill get in the way of the little Bomberman.
So no pressure on Dallin whatsoever here to set the pace. Remember that he can't fall in last place or else he could very well be eliminated. With only one Mercy card spent, that means I'm the only one now that has the decision on whether people continue or not. So here we go.
So as Dallamino is in the clearing phase right now, let's talk story for a little bit, because Dallamino was one of our reigning champions.
That's not a good story.
That's not a good story at all. Trapping themselves, actually doing worse the second time around than they did the first. I think the pressure is getting to them, because now Dallamino is the base bar, and with the potential of a double elimination, being the base bar means you have to do really, really well just if you want to stay in the tournament. Dallamino needs to score so high that other people will not be able to get above him, because third place can still get you out.
I like this route he's taking, though, here. A lot of people, everyone up until now has saved the lower left enemy for last, but this time he takes a more, this time he takes a more direct route, trying to get a little bit bigger of a time bonus. Problem is, this enemy is not going to line up for him, just barely.
Just barely gonna touch their toes into that bomb, and here we go. Dallamino into our second round with 1 minute and 16 seconds extra, putting his score at 4,400.
116 isn't bad at all, finishing about that 1 minute mark. Still gives you a pretty hefty time bank to use. Question here is, last time he waited until the very end to free that other bomber. And that kind of has a dual-bladed effect. On one hand, it makes the round safer to play, but on the other hand, you can't clear out as fast.
So it does seem like he is going to get that help, kind of changing his strategy up from last time. We'll see if that will be able to benefit him, because actually the second level was one of his stronger levels in terms of his first run. So we'll see if he'll be able to make this one better, because he has to if he wants to stay in.
Now this Cookie here is going to get free reign of the entire arena, so a lot harder to box in. In fact, Dallin has boxed himself in there, and that's going to drain some more time. Now this is exactly what I wouldn't want here, because, oh, he has the opportunity here. If he goes in to block it off, he does indeed. He's able to stop what was a potential disaster. Remember that Cookie takes 2 hits. And that's the way the Cookie crumbles in this case. Dallin gets past stage 2 with just about a minute, and of course the 5,000 point bonus for freeing the ally, bringing him over 13,000.
I think Dallamino's mindset right now is just stage clear. Dallamino is just trying to get through as many stages as possible with as much time as possible. He's not looking for any risky plays because he already self-destructed once, so he doesn't really have a ton of room for error. Oh no!
This cookie going on the attack. He almost gets taken out by it, but now he tries to go in close for the ambush to take them both out at once, but they box him in. Now he has to play the world's most oh no! Dallin! Oh, the hat is off. The hat is off. The game is over. 13,550. That's going to be quite an opening, I have to say.
Dallamino definitely set the bar high, and just like Asu was last time, now Dallamino is the bar. We rank everybody in terms of Dallamino's score. So people who do better are higher up, and people do lower are worse. Dallamino is the baseline with 13,550. Much higher than last time.
So now the question is, who does Asu choose next? It looks like it's going to be Coach Moore entering the arena. I have to think that Asu, getting a player as good as Dallin out of the picture immediately, could have been his strategy all along. I'm going to see Coach Moore is just kind of reviewing the general rules and how everything works.
I will say that I think, even though Asu put Dallamino in a very uncomfortable position, Dallamino did very well. 13,550 is a score that people were not able to beat last time around. And so we do expect people to learn as the game goes on more, but it'll be up to them whether they learn that much to get several thousand more improvement from their first round.
Okay, we're ready to load into the game here. Just unless Coach Moore wants to actually see the cutscene at the beginning here. But no, okay, we're back into the game. We'll see how Coach Moore does. Now that he has the benchmark he has to beat.
And that's good. It gives you a goal as we're in this little clear period right now. Dallamino has a massive target on his back, a massive 13,550 shape target, and we'll see if Coach Moore is up to that. Gonna go in for that double kill, only gets one of them there. Now has to reset up a bomb for the second that's just gonna go ahead and turn that corner.
Gonna block out the enemy's path here, but the enemy still finds a way to escape, so he's gonna try to find the timing working out a little bit better. It doesn't work out again, so he places it farther up the arena, where he knows it's going to hit. But he might just cross the minute mark here because he still needs a lot to clear out.
I do think the important lesson for the Bombers to learn right now is if you place it 2 spaces in front of them, they will hit it and be able to go away in these beginning stages. And that is a trap we have seen people repeatedly follow into that costs them a lot of valuable seconds.
Yeah, I actually like the patience. Oh, no! No! I mean, it does, okay, there is a silver lining here that does reset the timer, so he's going to get a huge bonus right here. So maybe that's intentional. I mean, that's over 5,000 points, 6,350. He's basically halfway there.
So Coach Moore is going for the risky strategy right out the gate. That was intentional. He blocked himself in, eliminated the enemy at the same time he took himself out, and only gave himself a couple of seconds. And what this sets us up for is, it looks like Coach Moore is bringing a very risky play style.
See if it works out. He hasn't gone for the ultimate risk, which would be freeing the captive from the crate, because that would close. No, now he's going for it. So yeah, he is going all in here. Wants to just try to beat Dallin as fast as he can. He's going to go for the lower route here, trying to block in the cookie.
Coach Moore's biggest issue right now is going to be risk management. So when can you afford to give up a life and when can't you afford to give up a life? And right now, I would say in this second stage, this would, I think, be the last time that you can safely give up some of those lives, because inevitably as the levels get harder, those are going to be taken from you.
But he's not even going to do that. He just clears everything out. And again, if you're over a minute, that's not bad of a bonus. In fact, I think that is indeed enough. Yeah, that puts him to 15,700. So now officially Dallin has been beaten by 1. The question is, how much is Coach Moore going to run up the table here?
So just like last time, our baseline score has been immediately beaten. And if we compare this to last round some more, we would expect Coach Moore to get the next highest and then Presumably, Asu's going to go last, so we would expect Asu to take first, if this is like last time. It'll be up to Coach Moore to see if whether or not that is the case.
Oh, that's such a perfect placement. It clears everything out. He's going to take advantage of the animation delay as well. Coach Moore looks like he's got stuff dialed in right now.
Something he learned from Dalamino, the animation canceling. Truly, the more you watch this game, the more you get a sense for what you can and cannot do. So the limits of not only the game, but like yourself, if that makes any sense. These AI tracks are still really giving Coach Moore some trouble.
But now he's waiting for the very last moment because we've seen how this enemy at the very end can really trap in players because it places down its own blocks. So it could probably go on the counterattack. Is it going to play? No, nope. It goes down immediately. Question is, does Coach Moore remember where that exit is? He's going to get the extra bomb so he can clear things out even faster now.
I think if Coach Moore is going to give up a life to get more score here, I think that would be valuable because he's already beaten the baseline. But it looks like he's just going to go for the straight-up score. There is no more risky playing as we get later on in these levels.
He's going to, no doubt, move past 20,000 now. He's on the track to set our all-time high score for the night. As he's moving into round 4, and this is the best we've seen someone move into level 4 with one extra life still available.
And they definitely will need it with that fire-breathing enemy and the enemy that makes your clear life harder and can corner you. We see Coach Moore is barely not going to fall victim to that because of a power-up. I think they're going in with the extra bombs, just still trying to clear. Can't get to the other enemies right now.
He's going to be trying to break out the center path here. Has to remember that this particular enemy is the one that breathes fire, so he's got to be aware of that. There it goes. But now it's got this huge animation delay.
Oh my gosh.
It looks like he misjudged. Are you? What kind of garbage is that? Oh my goodness. This bird had more than meets the eye.
He's got to destroy that egg, though, or presumably it's going to respawn and be more of a problem for Coach Moore. And I think because...
Oh, no.
Coach Moore is trapped in that corner with the ally there. I think Bird should be respawning any second.
Okay,
no, is just going to get blown up by the little Bomberman. Now Coach Moore is chasing Whooper down. No!
Oh, runs into it. That might be to reset the timer because he was very close to just running out of time to play the level entirely.
You're right, we're back into the risky yet calculated plays. That AI having is still giving him some trouble. Falling for the same mistake in that clear almost twice. Is gonna miss this cookie the first time around, but will need to go at it again. That Whooper is a tank.
The good news for him is that his AI partner already got one hit on that cookie. So it's just one more hit and he's done. They're gonna see, he's just gonna let the computer do the work for him.
Because, I mean, why wouldn't you? That's what they're there for. And with 1:23, Coach Moore is only increasing his lead more and more with 24,800 on the board.
Now up to 29,800.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna move on to the 5th level here, but uh-oh, I see 2 birds and a caterpillar now. Each enemy has been getting more problematic in its mechanics. Looks like a caterpillar can just go through obstacles.
I do wonder what new challenges these are going to pose for Coach Moore. It seems like the bird really put him on the ropes last time, so I think those are enemies that he's going to want to go for, and you want to approach them from behind if you can. Because, I mean, they can't remove your bomb with their butt.
Oh,
there it is.
Now I know what the red bomb does. It'll hit them through it can hit the enemies through the obstacles. So whereas the normal bomb would just clear the obstacle, the red bomb can get him through it, even though he's gonna head down there. 30,800, Coach Moore. Wow, best performance we've seen thus far.
More than double our benchmark.
More than double. Yes, more than double, yeah. Double would be around 27,000. Coach Moore beat that, so now Asu has one decision he wants to make. Does he want to send Togafu out here first to see if he has a lower benchmark to beat, or is he confident enough that he can beat Dallin's 13,000. It looks like he's going to send out Togefu first. He's going to be the last one playing.
So whoever goes in next really kind of dictates the rest of the narrative, right? Because it's all about whether or not they're able at this point to beat that 30,800 there. Because that's such a high score, more than doubling our benchmark, kind of completely changes the narrative. It's no longer a slow, steady climb like it was last round. If Togefu does this, it's going to be exponential, putting Aceu actually in the hardest position instead of the most advantageous going last.
All right, we're ready to head into our next match here. Ready to load in past the menu, past the cutscene, and get to level 1-1 again. Unless he really wants to see this. Okay, there we go. A little bit of delay at the beginning, but now he's off to the races.
Starting off with some good clear there. As you can see, the first enemy is approaching. Togefu is setting up for that.
Ooh. He's going to try to time it out. It is going to get the mushroom, so that's one down. And I think that's timed in. No, it's just going to escape.
It seems like these early game balloons are the ones that tend to juke players the most. They walk in and out of that bomb radius before it can even go off.
Yeah, because it's really like they don't stop moving. The mushrooms have a chance to just kind of like stop moving and stay put. Uh-oh.
Getting a little overzealous there, getting his toes touched by the very tail end of that bomb. I think the pressure is getting to Togefu.
Dallin is watching in the control room with bated breath right now to see if he's going to remain the lowest placed player. Now, Togefu doesn't need to get too aggressive here. Mushroom's very easy to clear out. He's going to try to get it in the corner. It's well played. Mushroom's going to get away, but he can place it again. He's going to see if he goes up to the north. It's a little bit too eager with that. Now working out the time, has it down. Now he can move on.
Gonna have that mushroom just walk right into it there and move to our second level with 1 minute and 20 seconds on the board. Not bad, a good start. I will say that losing that life, I think, definitely puts him behind Coach Moore. So we'll have to see where he stacks up.
Looks like he already has the location for the next bomb place. He's kind of preemptively positioning himself where he wants to place the next bomb, and that can help save a precious few seconds. Going to be able to get the first balloon guy. Now going to trap the mushroom in the corner. Pretty darn well played. No mistakes that I see thus far.
He absolutely could not have done that mushroom execution better. Still either waiting for the ally at the very last, going to go ahead and get that speed bonus. Togefu is not very interested. Togefu has to clear to get to some of the enemies. Finally going to bring that ally out because he recognizes that he really needs some help clearing if he wants to do this with 1 minute still on the board. Ooh!
Ooh. Nice play there by the computer. In fact, the computer is just kind of coming in clutch as the MVP here, just clears out everything. And I think that might be enough to beat Dallin.
Definitely a good decision to clear the ally a little bit earlier.
He's 400 off. 450 off.
So if Togefu is able to eliminate
just
a single
one,
yep,
yeah,
just one, just takes one, he will be able to beat the initial benchmark that Dallamino set, but he'll still be less than halfway up to Coach Moore.
You know what I just realized? If he beats Dallin here, that means Dallin's going to be on the chopping block no matter what. Because think about it. If Aceu doesn't manage to beat Dallin's score, he falls into last place. And what did we say? What happens if Aceu's in last place again? The second to last place also gets taken out by him. So what has just transpired is the worst case for Dallamino. He's going to be on the chopping block no matter what happens now.
If Aceu is unable to beat Togefu's score, so if Togefu continues, so Togefu at this point has beat Dallamino, right?
Yep.
And so if Aceu cannot beat Togefu, then there is absolutely no way Dallamino is getting out of this unscathed. So it's really, really interesting in a tournament to rely on the skill of people other than you.
He's only going to have less than 1 minute now, but that enemy blocks itself in, so that's going to be pretty good for him, knowing he doesn't have to deal with that. Still has to deal with the cookie. problem is I'm not necessarily the biggest fan here of this route that he's taken. Because if I remember correctly, that's where the exit is, and you cannot walk over the exit while it is closed. So just on the time, he might get knocked out here.
Now might be the time to, if you have the ability to do a sort of kind of risky play and give up a life for more time. Especially if Togefu wants to stay in this and try to beat the 30,000.
He already gets one hit on the cookie. I think he has just enough time. He can still get out of this. Yeah, he's going to have just enough time. Barely escapes. 8 seconds left. He's happy with that one. You didn't want to give up that life.
Togefu has committed to kind of like the trucking along path. We want to get as far as we can instead of scoring as much as we can on each individual level. Now, the interesting problem this poses is after this level, levels after that are unknown. So Togefu could be potentially heading into completely new territory for everyone.
That's what that power-up does. He can go past the obstacles.
Using that.
Oh, no!
Can't go past the enemy, though, and that's why he needed to save that life. Needed to make sure he had the ability to trap himself in with Wooper.
Ooh, looks like he's going to take that Wooper out. Now, he can try to maybe time this so he takes out the bird through. Oh, he almost did. He was just one off.
I'm just going to go ahead and free that bird, which will be a problem for Togefu as we continue forward. Not going to trap him in that central circle, though.
He's already tossed one bomb up. That's another one that's just well-timed. Now the egg is out on the field, but I think he can get that pretty easily.
It is an unmoving target that cannot flip the bombs into the air. Now we need to chase down this cookie, and the biggest next obstacle will be chasing down the caterpillar that comes next level.
But I like this here because the cookie's just kind of backing back and forth between the central, so it's kind of guaranteed to hit. Despite losing one life there, he moves on to where Coach Moore was just earlier. He's going to get another 5,000 for the other free, so now he is he's very close to topping Coach Moore's score.
But he has to beat this level with a new enemy that he hasn't faced before. So this is kind of like where he's going to need to like reach inside himself and decide, what am I willing to put up with today? What can I do? What are the new strategies? How can I adapt? Caterpillar's just not going his way.
Nope, it's just going to go through any obstacles it comes across. Not finding itself in there. He gets the bird. That's very well played with that power-up. I think that's the third and final hit. Now he's just one away. He's just got one bird left.
That was an incredibly fast timer, deciding whether or not he wants to go for the clock right now, whether or not it would be advantageous. Going to go ahead and place that bomb early so the bird doesn't have time to flip it up. Still managed to just get out of the way of his other bomb, and now it's just clear.
Question is, now he has to find the exit. But this power-up allows him to clear 2 at once, because remember, it can go through 1 obstacle. So he can probably clear pretty darn fast. There he is. He finds it.
There it is. And gonna have a power-up going in there, too. Gonna barely cost himself a second there by switching just too fast. And now, at this point... So this is the exponential thing that we were talking about, right?
Yeah.
Because at this point, Togefu has beat Coach
no,
Moore.
This is terrifying. Oh, my goodness.
I'm not entirely sure what's going on here.
No.
And I'm not sure that Togefu is either.
He manages to get 1 hit against it, so that's something.
We'll see how many hits it ends up taking there.
He's got to wait. I think he's got to wait for it to slam down into the ground where it's actually... So he actually has to kind of bait it and then place it down. Yeah, okay, that's the strategy here.
Fantastic. You got to wait for it to try to sit on you, and then you have to go in. I feel like this enemy is supposed to be cute, but it really just comes across as...
No, it's...
kind of terrifying.
Yeah, this is pretty darn terrifying.
Definitely gets faster the more hits it takes, too.
I mean, kudos to Togefu for just kind of finding out how to deal with this on the fly. And maybe getting past it now, that's he's going to run into a time issue. It's going to head back into the air before he can get the hit on it.
Ooh, just
that's
barely gonna make that. Oh no, he gets up and down so fast, and now he's dropping things on the floor.
Hit. Oh.
Togefu got sat on, and that is the end of the game. But Togefu has made it farther than anyone else has so far, and
looks like those are hips that truly don't lie, and they're going to be taking out Togefu, spelling the end of his journey, but getting the highest score. So Togefu set the new standard.
Togefu has set the new standard that Aceu will have to beat, which is no small ask. 30,000 is almost triple what Aceu scored the first time around. However, Aceu now not only knows how to deal with the boss, but how to deal with the caterpillar, how to deal with the birds. So it'll be all up to Aceu to manage his own personal mistakes by not walking into bombs, not walking into enemies, because he theoretically has a strategy that can take him all the way to beating the score.
So how much has Aceu learned during this entire time that he's been watching? Okay, he's gonna at least block off one and get his first hit. I think the main thing that Aceu is going to have to do is just making sure he's disciplined and doesn't catch himself in his own bombs. I think these first two levels are easy enough that once he gets the second level and frees the person, he's going to most likely be guaranteed to get past 13,000. So he just has to make sure he doesn't make mistakes.
Yes, just like I was saying at the beginning, fantastic. And Aceu actually is, I think, the best player for this. That was the most notable thing that Aceu brought to the table. Round one, as our first benchmark, was bomb spacing.
That is an absolutely perfect performance for the first stage. I would not be comfortable right now if I was Dallin.
Dalamino, you hear that from the back of production. I'm already dead. I don't know if you got that, but Dalamino definitely is not feeling good about their chances here.
So yeah, he's taking a little bit of time before he clears. Has to make sure he doesn't get boxed in here.
Ooh, that's the second time we've seen the bomb placed on the same square as the enemy as kind of to block the enemy off. And now that we've seen it 2 times, I do think it is intentional, and that is a new strategy that Aceu has just come up with.
Oh, and that's going to be a power-up he also gets. He's going to be a little bit quicker. Pick up the cookie again. Is going to kick it. That's the first time we've seen someone do that, but again, you can do that. You can kick the bomb. So maybe if you misposition it at the beginning, you can correct your error.
Aceu is employing strategies that we haven't seen from other players, and usually the benefit of that is you get to go further, and especially coupled with the amount of knowledge that he has now amassed, even though the bar is astronomically high, I do think Aceu is set up pretty well to take first and not turn this into a double elimination.
Oh, no. What happened there? What?
I think while we're talking about deaths because of hubris, I do think that was a good example of one. Does it again immediately after.
I mean, he has to be lucky. He's past the final one, so he's going to be safe now from Dallin, but what even happened there?
But Dallin might not be safe from him if Aceu does that again. This might just be because of those 2 bomb spacing mistakes, something we previously thought that Aceu was best suited for. I don't know if he can make it all the way to the boss and through the boss with only a single life.
So wait, is it going to be a double elimination because he didn't get last or didn't get first?
So if he gets... excuse me, he's already beat Dalamino, so he cannot be getting last place.
Yeah.
So Dalamino actually is safe.
Yeah.
But Aceu, now the tall order of first is looking less and less manageable the more these seconds tick down.
Yeah, at this point, I just have to wonder what happened with Asu there. If he thought he was clear, or it was back-to-back immediate mistakes. He's not going to go freeing the ally yet.
Which I think is a good decision because he doesn't have a ton of space to work with right now. As he frees more up, I think it becomes more and more valuable and viable to unlock that alley. But it looks like he's just gonna, ooh, that destroyed the bomb, I believe.
But he's just kind of going to wait it out. Got to make sure he plays it right with the bird so doesn't have the chance to flip it. That's well played.
Something he learned from previous people, I'm sure, as we go in here. Finally going to free the ally now that Asu has a little bit more space to work with. Hoping the ally can just kind of 1v1 that little spaceship guy up there. No, he did it again! Just barely off by a single space. Lost his touch, is going to come in third place by about 10,000 points, leaving Togefu as our first place from this round.
So now here's the question. You've used your Mercy card. Do I use it on mine, remaining one, on Dallin to bring him in for another round? Or is Dallin going to be the first one in the loser's lounge?
So if you use yours on Dalamino, right, that would theoretically take him out of last place and mean Asu was last place. And so Asu and Coach Moore would both come down. Is that how that works? Is that how that works in this tournament? I do think we need to consult production on that.
I think we need some time to think of the consequences of what my decision is going to be after we take our break here. So those are the final results for round 2. We'll be back and find out who gets eliminated right after this.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Protecting your customer journey from fraud is critical. According to industry analysts, Count's AI-driven platform is the leading solution. From account login to digital payments, Count is recognized for both its customer impact and technology excellence. Learn more at count.com.
Welcome back to the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. The Boise State Esports Arena. We are here for our Bomberman tournament, or a Neo Bomberman tournament, actually. So we're ready to see who is going to get eliminated. Now, we did have a little bit of a rule snafu in the middle here. Asu had to get first to go on. So since he didn't get first, he is actually eliminated. He missed his second chance, so hopefully he gets to join us up here. First one to sit in the Losers Lounge up here on stage. But now the question is, does Dallin get given the Mercy card? And D'Angelo actually brought something up very interesting. It's that if I were to give Dallin the Mercy card, that means no matter what, he's going to be the last player. He's going to be the last player if I gave him the Mercy card. So I'm going to let the next two players play regardless and save my final decision for when Dallin actually has the opportunity to play or not.
So, Jim Mountain is keeping us all in suspense. Dallin is back there sweating. There was an attempt to beg for mercy in the intermission there. And as we see on the loser's couch over there, can you
see Asu just chilling? Dallin is also he wants to get the W here. I'm the one in control of that. So we're going to see now in this next round, we're going to see Coach Moore and Togafu go first, the two highest scoring players.
I do have to say, we weren't expecting it from Coach Moore or Togafu, but after Coach Moore did it, because that was just so far and away what we had seen, I think Togafu was kind of an underdog there. We were kind of going in like, is he going to be able to do this? I don't know if he's even going to be able to beat this benchmark that Coach Moore set. And then he got all the way to the boss and almost beat it. So I think Togafu is set up either for a fantastic victory or a glorious fiery crash and burn.
Now we are going to be doing we're doing a flash drive flip to determine the order. So leaving it up to pure luck here. Okay, Tomio won the flip, so that means Coach Moore goes first, has to set a high score. And I just thought of another interesting thing. Technically, there's going to be a player here. I could choose not to use it on Dallin and use it on the other player that finishes. So if I don't use it on Dallin, that means I could have the opportunity to basically force a bracket reset if I wanted to between the top two players. So the question has to be if I let Dallin play or if I force a bracket reset, or remember, the rule set that the casters may give a mercy card if they wanted to. I could just choose to keep it for myself and call it a night.
It's your decision.
Well, let's see first how Coach Moore does. All set up. I think the pace he would want to set is just being perfect on the first round.
Coach Moore is kind of a risky player, though, sometimes. And, it played out to great effect. Stunting on Asu a little bit there. Just going to stand barely out of the bomb's radius.
Now he's in perfect position to quickly take out this mushroom. Looks like it stopped moving entirely, so he's going to take advantage of that. Just clear things out and move to his final enemy.
Just barely going to move a little bit there. Would not have been safe in his previous position. So that little just toe forward saved Coach Moore an extra life there.
Ooh. Oh my goodness.
We kind of saw that bomb push away that we saw Asu make use of. Now Coach Moore has picked that up. So we'll see if Togafu will be able to pick that up as well. Or even if Coach Moore finishing with not a minute on the clock.
I mean, even though he doesn't finish with a minute on the clock, he didn't have to spend any lives for it. So he's just going to take the opportunity to try to just move forward entirely and not spend any lives.
Coach Moore's playing it safe. We've definitely learned from last round about taking risks. So as we go in here, just kind of getting some initial clear before he can even set up on any of these enemies. Oh no, he's boxed himself in!
Oh no, Coach Moore!
That's the first life lost. Coach Moore going in here. But now, one enemy down, so theoretically less potential to be boxed in, and this cookie, I think, would be pretty hard to be caught off guard by.
Yeah, they were just... But, I mean, you know, Asu last round also just got caught off by his own bombs twice in a row, so anything can happen here.
Coach Moore wisely defending his own life, making sure that he waits to rescue that ally until the last available opportunity when they're needed for clear. Nope.
Nope, not going to get the mushroom there. Almost got... Oh,
no! Coach Moore, wow, we're seeing some of these players crash and choke under the pressure. That is the only explanation for this. Gonna call in the AI. We need some computer help here right now.
There goes Coach Moore. He exits the stage. Oh my goodness. Spends 2 lives on stage 2. 14,200. Ooh, that's very low, though.
Not gonna lie, I think so far this performance is lackluster, especially compared to Coach Moore's last performance on Neo Bomberman, getting all the way and setting new records.
All right, he's going to try beautifully placed. Kind of finding some redemption here from that last round.
That was risky and really nice. I'm not gonna lie. Fantastic job by Coach Moore. Definitely trying to learn from some of his mistakes here. This alien is a little bit tricky, has been a problem for some of our competitors, or just completely gets bowled over. There seems to be no in-between with the flying saucer.
Yeah, there's a bit of RNG kind of on whether it decides to place the barrier or not.
It looks like as we go in, Coach Moore is on the final cookie approach. This circle is a tricky formation that has cost...
But he made the same problem Togafu made before. You can't cross over the exit before it opens. So that's bleeding more time away from the timer, meaning he's not going to get as many points.
And Coach Moore also doesn't have a ton of time to spare, already kind of starting behind from a live standpoint. And this circle has cost many a player a lot of time because you can't box them in. You need to let them out of the circle, then they immediately go into another one. And see, you can't stop the cookie from just rotating away from the bomb.
No, it's good. Oh, he does
there it
2
is,
bombs.
Finally.
I think he has just enough time. Oh, both bombs actually register.
Has blocked himself out of the exit for an extra second there, but Coach Moore is still in this with absolutely no padding. And if Togafu's previous performance was anything to go off of, Togafu thrives on high barriers and not being the baseline. So Coach Moore is really kind of trying to do more than last round with less resources than he had before.
Oh, remember that particular power, if I remember correctly, allows you to move past obstacles. But he's going to take it out, actually, with the explosion.
And so Coach Moore has robbed himself of a very important benefit as we go here. Gonna maybe decide to get that ally? Nope, just barely not. Just going for the clear and gonna wait in that corner for the bombs to go off. Trying to approach this bird and this Whooper strategically, deciding who he wants to go to. Whooper's just gonna go ahead and go in the other direction. We'll be able to get out of that bomb range as well. Coach Moore needs to adjust his strategy a little bit instead of approaching these Whoopers on the straightaway. Gonna get the bird though.
Now the big problem is that he's let this other enemy get completely free reign of the arena, so we can't use any sort of obstacles to really try to box him in. Enemy's taking him out. Remember, this particular enemy, I think, takes 3 hits.
And because of such a long animation cancel, once you hit him once, you can just kind of lock him into it. Coach Moore has done that masterfully, has finally managed to track that Whooper down, and is now going to take them out. Just shy of that final hit.
Oh, no!
Whooper's going to walk away.
And he's got to deal with the cookie, too, as well.
Coach Moore is really putting us in a tough buzzer beater position. I think the kick mechanic would be something that would be very valuable. No! That's the opposite of placing the bomb to take away the enemy. That's placing the bomb to lock yourself in the same square
Coach Moore
as the enemy.
Already vacated the arena. He's out. He doesn't even want to discuss it. 19,450.
which is not bad. That is better than scores in the first round. Definitely still doesn't, and it's better than some scores in the second round, but doesn't come close to his performance last time. So Togefu, as long as they don't crack under the pressure, as long as they're able to eliminate some of these silly mistakes that all of the other competitors have fallen into, I think Tomio has this cut out for him.
Mm-hmm. And the time is getting close where I have to make my decision on who I want to save, or if I want to save anyone at all. Dallin is still here, waiting in the loser's lounge to see if he's going to be there permanently or whether he gets one more chance at playing.
You could just decide to keep it and make them sit on each other's laps. Ooh, you're in a very interesting position because, so, not everybody's going to fit on that couch, right? You got to do a little bit of space management.
That was probably the biggest moment of panic I have ever seen on a player's face here. Forget about playing in a championship. The moment where you brought out that suggestion was probably the moment of race who was filled with the most panic in his esports career. Who knows, it would be Neo Bomberman that would provide the most terror. All right, here we go. Togefu has the opportunity here. He just needs to beat 19,450.
Boxes himself in.
No.
Nope.
Oh my goodness.
We're seeing a lot of these early game mistakes that define the rest of the game, and we're seeing another one immediately after. There is no escape for Togefu. That is both lives lost before even 200 score is on the board. He's managed to eliminate that second enemy, but man, this round just kind of feels like everybody kind of feels like they're choking, whether it's under the pressure or, I mean, they feel too confident in their gameplay skills.
He just needs to take out one more, but he's going to be going on to level 2 with absolutely zero room for any mistakes. 2 back-to-back mistakes at the beginning here might just cost him this tournament. We move on to round 2. Now, he might here just kind of decide to keep the ally in the crate until the very last time, because he might just want to try to play this as safely as possible.
I mean, honestly, in these last couple of rounds, that ally has been more of a help than a hindrance. It does pose the risk of you walking into an ally bomb, but some of the players are just doing that to their own, like back-to-back immediately.
Oh, he's going to free it.
There it is. That's out. Togefu is going to swallow their pride and say, I need all the help I can get here.
And realizes he can kick the other bomb as well.
Fantastic new gameplay mechanic. It might already be too late, though, just because of that lack of a safety blanket. There is no room for error in Togefu's game plan.
Ooh, that cookie just gets away. But he still times it. No, he doesn't.
Nope.
Okay, the cookie decided to turn upwards, which means that it did hit. So now he just has to take out the mushroom.
As we go around here, we get that hurry up message. These levels seem to be taking longer and with more errors on the player's side. So as we go in, that mushroom is going to be taken out. Togefu needs these power-ups and doesn't need to clear anything else. Just gonna go ahead and go right into the next level. What do you think? Are there adjustments that you think need to be made in Togefu's approach?
Not really. I don't think I necessarily saw anything. The only thing I would try to mention is, you're saying these levels are kind of taking longer. That means, you know, they're facing the hurry up more. And on this third level, we've seen time and time again, they keep forgetting where the exit is placed. It's in the same place every time, but multiple people have taken the wrong route and boxed themselves into a time disadvantage.
And especially considering that, like you said, those are taking longer, you really need to not do that. As we're going in, we'll see if Togefu is able to learn from past mistakes, because Togefu is somebody that specifically struggled with that. Not going to box himself in the corner this time. Also not going to get the hit on the cookie, but, you know, I mean, you win some, you lose some. Going to get that second hit, though, because of that animation cancel. Very nice. Just keeps the cookie locked in place. Safely just going to kind of get some clear in. Avoid that UFO for now. Going to go back and re-engage with the power-ups. Calculated. Ooh!
Oh.
That UFO took themselves out of the running there. They made themselves unable to go around that corner. It looks like Togefu is going toward the bottom, which is not what Togefu should be doing. Yep, that is not.
Okay.
The portal is there. Togefu has figured that out, not going to fall into the same trap of time. But even still, he finds himself with 43 seconds and counting down.
I think that's enough time. If he's able to get the right hits on this cookie here, time it out just right. Yeah, he times that out beautifully. Should be able to use the animation cancel on this to get the second shot. And he's onward and upward.
We've seen significant play improvement, which we're always here for, but I am really, really concerned because that it doesn't enable you to take any risks and doesn't allow any room for error.
I mean, he's cutting it awfully close here, too. I mean, one mistake here, he still isn't past Coach Moore's score of 19,450. He's going to free the ally.
Needs all the help he can get. No shame in admitting that. They're almost going to get boxed in by that UFO. No, there it is.
Okay. So, I get a decision to make now. Who is the final going to be between? Does Dallin get another chance here? You know, Dallin said something very interesting to me over the break. He mentioned the fact that we played a lot of Jackbox party games last night. And he specifically brought up the game Trivia Murder Party, which, if you ever played it before, there's one particular stage in it where there's a big pile of money in front of you. And you can choose to take the money, and if both players don't take the money, they both live. If one player takes the money and the other takes them and the other doesn't, then one player lives, the other who didn't take the money dies. And if both players take the money, they both die. So if you're choosing take the money, you're basically guaranteeing someone is going to be eliminated. Dallin looked me right in the eye, and said we're both choosing not to take the money. And then right after he said that, he chose to take the money. So you know what? I'm going to say we don't need any details to muddy the waters like Dallin is trying to throw out. I'm going to put my mercy card onto Togefu and say that it's Togefu and Coach Moore who are going to be going to the finals and competing. So we'll take a short break and be back after this and see who is the grand champion.
You killed him!
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Protecting your customer journey from fraud is critical. According to industry analysts, Count's AI-driven platform is the leading solution. From account login to digital payments, Count is recognized for both its customer impact and technology excellence. Learn more at count.com.
Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena. We are currently in the final round of our Neo Bomberman tournament. You see the two competitors there, Coach Moore.
Hasn't moved.
Coach Moore and Togafu are waiting. A live shot of the Losers Lounge right there. And you can also see a little bit of Overwatch being played as well. But the true game you want to focus on is Neo Bomberman. We're down to the grand finals, and we have the rules of how this is going to go. I'm still your host, Jacob Jen Palmer, joined by Colby D'Angelo Alloway. Both players are only going to have one life here. So they got to play perfectly, which makes me think both of these players have run into situations where by a misplaced bomb, they take themselves out. So that mistake becomes fatal now.
So, I do think we're entering the climax of the story, right? That's where we're at. We have the two arguably highest skilled players going against one another. There is no more mercy to be had. This is you either win or you lose, and all the glory and honor goes to you. And what we've seen from these two players, I think it's a toss-up between two different options. I think they're either going to beat the boss battle for the first time that we've seen so far on a single life.
One life.
Or they're both going to be taken out first map.
Okay,
That's my call
I
now. And just so that, like, we're on the same page and we hope they get past the first map, I do want to kind of call back to Doc's keys to the game, because I do think a little bit of a reminder would kind of help everybody out right now.
Sure. We do, in fact, have Doc's keys to the game in Neo Bomberman before us. Those keys to the game are going to be stay out of the blast zone, prioritize pickups, and manage rotations. It's all brought to you by Drop-In Gaming. Premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Whether you're new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. To begin your competitive gaming journey, sign up at dropingaming.com. To decide who will be going first in our grand finals, actually, I have been informed by production we have a wheel we're going to spin here to decide who. Oh, here we go.
Oh, here it is. Coach Moore in the blue, Togafu in the red. This is live on the stream. Can you feel the excitement?
Oh, Coach Moore. Oh, it goes to Coach Moore
Coach
first.
Moore is the baseline. Coach Moore is going to determine, what Togafu needs to be. I think this actually puts Togafu at a bit of an advantage, because the last time Togafu and Coach Moore kind of went head-to-head, Coach Moore set the astronomical baseline, and Togafu was able to use that as a goal, as a motivator, to kind of get all the way there and even past that. But with only one life, there is no room for all of these silly mistakes players have been making.
Problem is also for Coach Moore, he's got the thing of if he loses, he has to go back to, coaching Valorant and Halo. And the fact that, he wasn't able to win the Bomberman tournament might be a point of contention next time he's having to give the players some gameplay tips. There would be the... All right, did you see... What am I seeing here? Wait.
Coach Moore!
What? Oh, they're getting... Okay. Oh, my goodness. I was... Okay. I get that now. Okay.
All right. So each player needs to take it upon themselves to remove their extra lives. That's what we were seeing just in the beginning there instead of the initial clear. Coach Moore no longer there with a safety blanket. This is an honorable tournament. Players are responsible for taking their own lives off of the clock.
He just has one enemy left. A lot of people, even though this is kind of the first round, have fallen victim to the timing. But he gets the power up. He can place 2 bombs now. So the enemy's going to escape that. He's kind of going to play the long game or slowly box it in here.
And the long game is better than the risky game right now. Coach Moore has previously been a player that has taken risks, and they have paid off. But sometimes they don't. So I think that upper left-hand corner, as soon as Coach Moore got past that, it was pretty likely that he was going to be able to complete the map. And I think the same is true here. As long as Coach Moore can get 2 enemies down, I think it's relatively safe to call that he will be able to get past this right now. I think the biggest issue is going to be those 2 because they are so mobile, and we have seen many Neo Bomberman players fall trying to chase them down and misposition bombs.
He's gonna let
There
that
it
bomb.
is.
Yeah, nice.
There's 1, there's 2. I think Coach Moore is going to make it here. Just going to box that cookie right in there. Needs to make sure that they get this right animation cancel. Coach Moore is on it. Finally unlocks the ally. Doesn't even stop to wait for anything. Dodging both of those bombs. Now just needs to get that little mushroom in the corner and then can move on to the next stage. I think Coach Moore has found their role.
That's most certainly going to be the round gotten for him. And what I liked so much about that was we weren't sure if the enemy in the center, kind of the balloon, was going to be taken out at first. And he could have tried to go up to reposition the bomb, but that would have been extremely risky. But he just played the patient game, and it actually worked out for him.
All right, so what we really want to pay attention to here is the cookies going in circles on either side. The first one to be taken out will be the left-hand one, but how Coach Moore handles them with their very complicated rotations. Flawless execution. Gets in there, gets out, gets the animation cancel, and the elimination. I think that bodes well for him being able to take the second one out in that circle there.
He's been really good at just kind of trapping them into one square as well. The question is he going to go for the immediate elimination of the alien? Yeah, it doesn't put down any barriers, so that's gone for him as well.
Now we're just on the final circular approach. There's not a lot of danger to Coach Moore at this point, right? The only danger to him is his own bombs, but this cookie can still take out a lot of time. Masterfully done. Gonna get that animation cancel. Flawless. Didn't even go for the wrong route.
Yeah, he is not making any mistakes here whatsoever. He's already breaking. I like that. We have a clap from Asu here. Even though he's been eliminated, that's good sportsmanship.
Definitely.
Less than I can say for Dallin.
Who is still laying on the floor. So what we are going to be watching here is how he handles that Whooper. Because if you free the Whooper and give them free range, you are giving yourself a whole slew of problems. So as you can see, Coach Moore has just left them in that little box where they are not a problem. Gonna go ahead and get that bird, eliminate it immediately. Stay out of...
No!
Coach Moore!
Why have you forsaken us, Coach Moore?
You were the chosen one, just barely gonna miss that safe square in the corner, and that's... Honestly, I gotta say, phenomenal performance.
Now, you do need to consider that is just with one life. So
definitely.
With one life, remember, the top score that we've gotten has been over 30,000. So to get 20,000 with just a third of the lives to play with, I think he still has a great chance of winning this.
Coach Moore was on it. Togefu definitely has a tall order ahead of them going to try to beat Coach Moore, and I think it'll become apparent, like it was with Coach Moore, very early, whether or not Togefu is up to this task. The first thing you're gonna want to watch, just like I said before, is that upper left-hand corner in the first level. I want to say like 7 or 8 lives have been lost first level in that upper left-hand corner just several times. So if Togefu is able to masterfully avoid that, I think we can say he has a good chance at beating Coach Moore. If he does it just barely by the skin of his teeth, I think it's more iffy. But there's also the possibility that this could only go a couple seconds.
Right. Now, remember, they are going to be taking their other 2 lives out of it as we go in here. So Togefu is kind of going to intentionally take 2 lives away from himself, leave him with only 1. Here we go.
Which we weren't prepared for last time.
No,
now
I thought Togefu was going to have the easiest round, just trying to beat 0. No, okay, here we are. We're down to. Oh no.
No.
No, see,
He has you're right. You're right. I'm
oh
so
my
sorry.
goodness! The Togefu!
Togefu didn't give himself. What did I say? Upper left-hand corner. Gonna determine the whole game.
Coach Moore wins it by default. Default. Oh, that is just the best action you can possibly hope for in this type of tournament.
Now, I do have to bring it back and say that even though Togefu kind of got stuck in that corner there, which I mean, that was the big first hurdle, right? We knew that is where you either succeed or you fail, and in this case, it was Togefu that failed, and
so by a score of 21,000 to 0. It turns out we had a real barn burner on our hands. Really close final between these two.
Oof.
Coach Moore is going to win that, and let's just call it 1-0 there. Wow. Dallin is really furious right now. He didn't make it to the finals because, man. Oh, I'm so glad I used my mercy card on the right player. I'm just going to say that right now. All right, do you have any final thoughts, D'Angelo, before we close out the night?
So just as we bring it back, we make fun of Togefu a little bit. I do want to kind of final thoughts about that tournament before we move into our highlights and
Sure.
player of the game and top 5. I do think that Togefu's funny little failure there does not take away from Coach Moore's exceptional performance. Got 2/3 of the way
Sure.
there with less than with a third of the lives, did less with much more, and there was some overall flawless play, and it was just that little thing at the very end that takes you out that is very determinant in these Neo Bomberman games. It's all about the microplays.
And still, Togefu was the only one to reach the boss stage, too, some
That's
point during the
true.
tournament, so he still has that. And now we have our player of the game here to see who production overall wants to give the honor to, even though Coach Moore is the winner of the tournament as a whole. Who is going to be named player of the game? It is, in fact, going to be the Bomberman AI. I love it.
I mean, honestly, okay, we all need a buddy to lean on when it's just not our time right now, right? We all need somebody to fall back on, and actually nobody fell victim to the Allies' bombs, so I think the Ally was doing a pretty good job. Even if they didn't always get eliminations with their bombs, they didn't friendly fire either.
Yep. Wow, well, the player of the game is the Bomberman AI, brought to you by the Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player, or computer in this case, can make a team more successful, just like Idaho Central is helping members achieve financial success. The AI, the RNG, the random number generator, is your player of the game for our Bomberman tournament. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you so much for joining. Coach Moore proving he's worthy of the coach title, keeping his position as top dog as far as Bomberman is concerned. But we'll close it out with the top 5 plays of the game, brought to you by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. More than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. Idaho Army National Guard is one of the best teams to join out there. Reach out to them on Twitch at iGuard Gaming. That's going to do it for us, though. So thank you for watching, and enjoy your top 5 plays. We're down to, oh no.
No!
No, see,
Oh,
yeah,
wait.
he has
yeah,
the
you're
button.
right, you're right. I'm
Oh
so
my
sorry.
goodness,
Oh,
the
Togefu didn't give himself. What did I say? Upper left-hand corner. Gonna determine the whole game.
Coach Moore wins it!
Ton of room for error.
Oh,
no.
this cookie going on the attack. He almost gets taken out by it. But now he tries to go in close for the ambush to take them both out at once, but they box him in. Now he has to play the world's most... Oh, no! Dallin! He's going to free the ally.
Needs all the help he can get. No shame in admitting that. They're almost going to get boxed in by that UFO. UFO. No, there it is.
Okay. So, I get a decision to make now. 16,100. Oh, he just walks right into that. But he doesn't have to worry. I mean, he's already made it, so.
I think he has to worry a little bit. There were a couple of concerning plays, but he's going to come in with that double hit and reinstate the faith in him. That was flawlessly.
Getting past it now, that's very, he's going to run into a time issue. It's going to head back into the air before he can get the hit on it.
Ooh, just barely gonna make that. Oh no, he gets up and down so fast, and now he's dropping things on the floor.
He's hit. Oh.
Togefu got sat on, and